It's sunny, but it's so cold outside. I think it's 27 or 28 degrees right now. There's not a lot to see outside. So today I'm gonna be working on some of the things that I have inside, like small tortoises, hatchling turtles. Today, that's what we're gonna look at. Great, so right now I am gonna soak these young cherryhead tortoises. I soak all my young tortoises once a day. This way I make sure that they're hydrated. You know, their shells aren't fully formed and fully hardened, so it's possible for them to absorb more water and also therefore kind of lose more water faster than adults. I like to give these guys about a 30 to 45 minute soak each morning, and then give them some food and let them hang out the rest of the day. I also take a mister and mist their enclosure, and they also have a water dish available, but I do like to also give them, you know, a soak every day. And so while they're soaking, I go through and I take out any uneaten pieces of food, any little bits of poop or anything like that, just kind of put them in here, toss that out, and I also top off their water dish. And after about a few minutes, I'll bring these guys back in and give them some food, and they'll go back to hanging out in their little tub on this rack. All right, so about to pull them out from soaking, but given they're set up a nice misting, they've got fresh water, got some bananas. We're gonna take some of these bananas and mix them in with the 2 trays of food. This way they don't push each other around. They have 2 little plastic lids that I feed them off of, and then we put the tortoises in next. So yeah, now we just put them in here. These guys are ready to feed, and then they'll spend the rest of the day under the basking bulb and kind of back there in the more humid part. This entire, you know, setup kind of slides in and out, and the farther back portion is the more humid portion because I actually have like some plexiglass over the top where the heat lamp is. And then on nice days, these guys get to go outside. So this is not a permanent setup. It's a little tight, but when I separated them into more individual, like two together type setups, they didn't eat as well as they do in a group. I think the competition makes them eat better. So I would rather have them eating better and a little bit tighter just for the 2 or 3 months that they're inside. These guys will be back outside a good amount of the time starting in March. But for right now, this is a pretty good setup. I like using it. It's fun having like a rack type setup. You know, I was inspired by, you know, Charlie's, and, you know, the tortoises do well in here. These guys, you know, a lot of them were actually raised together, so they actually do really well. I love the cherryheads. Can't thank Charlie enough for these guys. Just beautiful, beautiful animals. There's the black cherryhead doing well. And, you know, they're all raised up, you know, really smooth, and, you know, doing the half of this enclosure really humid and keeping that humidity up and doing those soaks really keeps these guys nice and smooth and looking good. So really happy with these guys and looking forward to getting them back outside because I really don't like keeping things inside. All right, so these are some turtles I've really been looking forward to sharing with you guys. I got these on a recent trip to Florida from my buddy Nick, and these are red cheek mud turtles, and I've always wanted to work with these guys. I've known other people that have worked with them and had great success, and I love the musk turtles and the mud turtles, and these guys are just so awesome looking. I love the shape of their shells. I love their personalities. Mud turtles are just fantastic. And, you know, the nice thing with these guys is they breed, you know, pretty readily, and, you know, it's getting more and more possible to get captive bred red cheek mud turtles these days. They're really awesome animals, and as far as I remember, I think the one in the middle is a female and the 2 on the ends are the males. And you can see he wants no part of this, but such a cool looking turtle. And, you know, if you look at their shells from the top, they just have such a cool shape. They have these like awesome looking keels, just so cool looking. And, you know, one of the neat things with mud turtles is they're at home on land and in the water. You know, they do have kind of some rosy reds that show up on the face, nice yellows, and almost like a woodcut to the shell. You know, the shell almost looks like it's made out of wood in some of these guys. As you can see, they can close up like a box turtle. They have a really big plastron, and they're able to just kind of close that thing up. And that protects them because these guys do spend a good amount of time on land, and having that hinge really protects them. And it enables them to have a better fighting chance against, you know, things like coyotes, and it gives them a better chance, you know, in the same way that it gives a box turtle a good chance. Their personality, their awesome little faces, and just how hardy they are. These guys do really, really well, really easy to keep. So Big fan of the red cheek mud turtles. I'm pretty stoked that I've got like, 3 of them where, hopefully I can, produce some young. I'm not one for, valuing an animal for its appearance or its color. I really just think that they're awesome for what they are, and I just wanted to share these guys with you. Right, and the next turtles that I got are these little baby cherryheads. Now, Charlie Moorcroft hatched these out this past year, and the last time I was over there, I was telling him, I was like, oh, I really like the shape of the shell that these guys have. And, this one, they both kind of have an interesting shape and interesting colors, not particularly colorful at all, but I just thought they were different, and so Charlie was like, I'll send them up to you. And so now they're here. They do have the typical cherry head colors on the legs. These guys are very young, so they're very shy. I'm looking forward to raising them up and just wanted to share them with you. A little bummed that they are so shy that they decided to hide out during this video, but hopefully in the future we'll see a lot more of them. Just really awesome animals. I did get a lot of other turtles and tortoises over the last couple months, and I'll be sharing those on Patreon. So if you're not a member and you want to see that, jump over on Patreon and you'll be able to check those out. All right, I know a bunch of you guys had asked about my temporary winter setup for my Sulcata tortoise. This is it. He's in a 110-gallon Tough Stuff tub, and gives him a little bit of room to move around. Not a heck of a lot, but he's also not in here all the time. This is more of just a safe place for him to be on those nights when it's cold. If it's in the mid 50s or above and sunny, he can go outside, and that's most days for us here in Georgia during the winter. And then when it gets really cold like it does last night, he comes in this tub. He does have a heat lamp. There's also a ceramic heat element in the tub next to him. So there's also a heater in the garage. So everything in here is in the 70s. And so this is just a temporary setup. Now, if I had a much longer winter, I would probably want to build something much more substantial. But for right now, this is just for, keeping him warm, keeping him safe, which is number one. And, he gets plenty of days, I would say a couple days a week at the least, except for this week. This week we do have a cold front, but most days during the winter he can actually go outside for the daytime. And then I just have to grab him, put him on a cart, bring him inside, and then he comes in here to his indoor tub and hangs out. And again, he'll be done with this tub probably by mid to late March and be back outside. So for right now, he just hangs out in here, has plenty of Timothy hay to eat on. I don't keep a water dish in here anymore. He's actually heavy enough, he can crack the ceramic dishes that I use. So what I do is on those days when it's warm enough for him to go outside, he can walk over to the aquascape pond and get a drink from that. Or I actually have a super large tub I can fill with some shallow water and just give him a good soak. So just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what's going on here in the winter. Unfortunately, it's pretty boring. I'm really much happier when things are going on outside instead of inside. But we don't have much longer. It's January. Really, we just got to get through February, and March is when things start kicking back up. So I'm really looking forward to that. But did want to share with you guys what I do with my tortoises, because I know you had asked. Also have some new animals. So if you want to see the new animals and some of my other indoor setups, like I said, jump over on Patreon. I'll see you guys over there. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you're doing well. Check you guys later. Peace.